We good?
We live, baby, yeah. That's your question?
Hi, guys. I'm on my salt and pepper today.
Damn, you quick. You know we just got on. These people ain't in here yet. I just got the email, so they just got the email.
Don't you worry. Oh, what you gonna do? Oh, what you gonna do? Work ain't honest, but it pays the bills. Let me open my snacks before it gets loud.
I did something for Pat on Patreon. I did something for Pat on Patreon.
Hi, Margie. Thanks for stopping in.
Margie! Hey, Margie, you got to start hitting your girl up. Reese's girlfriend's mom. Patrick Dunk, happy birthday, big 40. Yeah.
Hey, happy birthday, Patrick.
Sean Kemp, big 40. Joy, you didn't see what I did for you on the Patreon, but I shouted him out on the Patreon, sent him a whole video in commemoration of his milestone birthday.
First of all, we're supposed to be doing that kind of stuff together.
It was impromptu. Last night I was kind of under the influence and I tried to go live on the Patreon. I set some shit up, but I was too intoxicated to finish. But we wouldn't have been able to do it on Zoom.
As you guys can see, I am on my early 90s, late 80s vibe today. I got my salt and pepper going. Salt and pepper's here. So that's why I got my hat in my glass.
This is not that type of show, okay?
First of all, you don't tell me what type of show it is because I'm on the show and I make it whatever type of show that I want to make.
Brandon, here's the thing. We're not going to be sitting there flashing people because we could get flagged for nudity.
I did not flash anyone and I am fully clothed. And
what I saw on what I saw on my phone was all titties, head cut off.
No, what you saw in your mind, I was showing a shirt.
Is this the way you said it? I was showing a shirt. But your hat, you look like an Eastern Star.
I am a chef. I will be whipping them things.
Look at Leisha Poole. Last time she was on her Alicia Brown shit. What is you watching this on that you got your alias up there now? And what happened to you today? Because I kept hitting you up and you was fucking ignoring me. Alicia. I think that's the right one. That's what the picture looked like. I'm confused. That might be the wrong Alicia I'm getting on. Is that the right Alicia?
Thank you for joining us, Alicia. What?
I'm talking to Alicia, making sure I'm getting on the right person.
Salt and pepper's here. Salt and pepper's here.
Girl, be quiet.
You be quiet. You be singing every episode. And the moment I sing one part of a song, you tell me be quiet. Shut up.
Because this is what I do. You thought I was gonna say it, huh? But let me start off by telling you about my day.
Nobody don't really want to hear it, but go ahead.
Facts. Facts on facts on facts. But today I started a business venture. I started Mr. BR's crawfish. Straight drop, no sauce. It was a success. Sold out, pre-ordered. All of them sold out.
And Ken didn't save me any.
That's a fact. Let me tell you what happened. I miscalculated and didn't even, I sold what I had set aside for myself. So I had the crawfish, I had the corn and the potatoes. Everybody came through. Big success. Thanks, everybody. Trying to bring some good flavor of crawfish to the San Antonio area. I already put out the kite for the next week. But I'm being that we're both from Louisiana.
Huh? When are you doing it again?
I want to say Saturday. But depends on what the pre-orders look like. But now, being that you're from Louisiana, Joya, and you're from a place where you don't wear shoes,
really,
Joya, I know the bottom of your feet are flat, and you can run on gravel.
Really?
Can you?
That's not the point.
But no. The question was, can you run on gravel?
I can, and I can run on hot gravel, but that's not the point. My feet still smooth. They ain't crusty.
That's usually kicked all the skin off of them. That's your goddamn cellular level. But being that you're from Louisiana and you know how it goes. Now, I just had crawfish. I had corn and potatoes. Selling them by the pound, sold out. But I talked to my friend from back home, and he was telling me, or different people who do different things, but a lot of people don't know. I know I gotta put some sausage in there next time. I could do some boiled eggs, but what you think about if I say I want to start putting turkey necks and neck bones and things like that up in there? What you think?
Of course. Whenever I do a crawfish boil, I do all the meats first. So turkey necks, neck bones, even some ham hocks, because some people eat them just like that. And then
we gotta remember what we at now. People don't know about them hocks now.
They have them smoked at HEB already.
Oh, but that's for us because the transmigration. Because a lot of places don't even have, like on our side of town, and I know on your side of town, hell no, they don't have fresh neck bones. Some of them don't even have smoked neck bones.
We have fresh neck bones.
But I'm saying some. It's like hit and miss. So like, if I'm going back home, every store has it. Mm-hmm. And there's meat markets, here and there. But here, I'll go in somewhere and like I went to the where was I? I was at the Walmart right here on Desert Olive. Mm-hmm. Did not have Louisiana crawfish ball seasoning.
Really? We have all that. We even have the roux, which normally people don't
in the jar, yeah. But y'all have a full seafood department, right?
Yes.
See, that Walmart does not have the full seafood department. It has the seafood area, but it doesn't have the full seafood department.
Gotcha. Well, pretty much like what I like in mine is crawfish, shrimp, turkey necks, neck bones. I'll do sometimes hawks. Hawks is rare, but I'll do them sometimes. But I also like smoked turkey wings and smoked turkey legs to be thrown in there.
But I'm selling this. I'm not giving it away, so I gotta watch my costs.
Right. But then I also like onions, bell peppers, lemons, oranges, garlic, and then I also put mushroom, like the whole mushrooms in mine, like the portobellos.
Yeah. I didn't do that this time. I think the bell peppers are unnecessary, and I think celery is unnecessary.
I don't do celery, just onions, bell peppers, garlic, lemons.
I think oranges are overkill.
No, orange just brings out the sweetness of the meat in the tail. And it also doesn't give the head juice. So when you suck the heads, when the stuff that comes out of it isn't as bitter and it doesn't taste as dirty, I guess, as gritty tasting. Like, how sometimes it can taste like dirt.
That's somebody who don't clean their crawfish.
Well, they need to clean them crawfish then.
You gotta suck them head on them that crawfish, like Mr. say. But no, what I want to say is, I'm gonna try the oranges one time. I've never boiled with the oranges, I'm onion, lemon, garlic.
Yeah, you
That's
gotta
it.
have garlic. You have to have onions, but the reason why I put so many like extra seasonings in there is because I actually do eat them with the crawfish. So I love the
I
boiled.
see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I love the boiled onions and crawfish because if
yeah,
you're throwing meats in there, it helps also flavor the meats, the
yeah.
turkey necks and stuff like that. And you can eat that with the meat. So you damn near just need a pot of rice after that.
True. I'm a your country ass, but if hey, you dating a country girl, if it's just something on the table and she say all we need is a pot of rice, she country as fuck, and she probably eat with her hands.
I'm eating with my hands right now.
Well, that's just chips. You know what I'm saying? You got to do that. But no, I mean like eating with your, like you sopping stuff up with the rice and the
But that just goes to my ancestry though, because my dad's Haitian. Of course, a lot of Black people in America are mixed with Africans, so that's how they do. That's what they make fufu for. So the fufu to go with the foods is kind of like a smushed rice, but it's almost like mashed potatoes, but they're hard.
Mhm.
So they use that to help get the meats and the juices and everything, and that's how they eat. So
But the thing is this, they stick their hands in their mouth like up to here.
not necessarily.
See,
And it's only
if I'm doing it, I want to just like be able to like drop it in.
it's only either the first two fingers or the first three fingers. It's not all of this.
Well, my hands are big, so there's still a lot in my.
It's however you need to fit the size of your mouth. So
But you have a pretty big mouth, though, Joy.
I do not have a big mouth. I stuttered when I said that, so it's a lie.
All right, I'm sitting there like, Joy, come on. But it was a great success, and I want to expand and do more. And being that the COVID kind of fucked some shit up because this is really late, and everybody's like just not starting to boil. Like my homeboy back home, he doing big things. Like today was his first day boiling. You know what I'm saying? And that's like his whole business. And so he just was like, I'd rather miss some money than boil bullshit. But he did his first thing today. But he drops 500 pounds of pot. He got the big pot. He got the whole truck and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, man, but great success today.
Well, I'm happy for you, and I'm glad it went good. Just next time, make sure I get my 10 pounds.
No, see, you want them 10 for free.
I never said it was going to be for free. I would have paid you. As long as they were good. I wouldn't have no complaints. I'd pay you.
Yeah. Shit, if I'd have did them 10, god damn. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. 10 pounds is a lot.
It's not a lot.
I bagged the 5 and the 6 pound today, and I'm sitting there like, that's a lot.
I need 10 pounds.
On your body.
Well, that's how I'm going to get it.
But yeah, I know for next time, and then I'm just trying to gauge how I want to do the meat and things like that. But I want to expand to maybe being able to deliver, because it was like, back home, we know like, hey, I put on there, hey, they done, come get them. People were like, okay, I'll be over there in a second. And then an hour passed. And I'm like, I can't keep these goddamn things hot forever.
Right. So did you get an ice chest?
Yeah, but they held warm enough for so long.
True. Now, if you're going to do the meats, then I'll help you with that, because the meats need to be boiled at least 2.5, 3 hours before, if you want it falling off the bone.
No, I'm just going to boil it in the pot.
Mm-hmm.
But I know 2 hours.
But
well, last time I did that, I didn't do Brittany Monique. Now, let me tell you about Brittany Monique, guys. Brittany Monique is a passionate, I don't know how long she's been watching, but that last episode with Ahmaud Arbery, comments on fire.
Guys, I just want to say something about that. I'm very passionate about helping people, especially minorities. I'm always a firm believer of if we talk to each other and help teach each other, then things will go the way that it's supposed to go. And, people will be more satisfied and more happy within their life. It's kind of like,
What are you talking about?
but this is what happened at the end of the episode. That's what I'm saying. When you were saying you're drunk. Let me talk.
What's that?
What I'm saying is that if someone is successful and does good for themselves, I feel like that as a person, the way that I think, it's a responsibility to help other people, especially the people that look like you. And that's all I was trying to say, is that we can all work together, we can put each other up on game, and we can get the things that we're actually asking for in this particular country. That's all I was trying to say. Help one another, even if sometimes people might be acting ignorant. Like, all it takes is a conversation, and for them to understand that you don't want to be in your particular situation forever. Okay, well then let me put you up on game. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna, teach you how to do this or that, and just stuff like that. Like, we can all help each other. And I think once we do that and we can come together as one, we can change a lot of things that's happening in this country. That's all.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of lost. So we're talking about the Ahmaud Arbery?
Yeah, at the end of the episode, pretty much I left, and I apologize for that. I don't want to ever have our viewers think that I don't care about the podcast, because I do. But what I was,
you didn't leave that podcast, did you?
it was last episode.
That was like a couple podcasts ago.
No, that was last episode.
You left?
At the end, fool. See you. Oh my gosh.
What you mean you left?
Never mind. Forget it, guys. Let's move on. Go ahead. Ahmaud Arbery.
What are you talking about?
Nothing.
Did we have an argument?
I was trying to explain, because like I was telling you in the last episode, at the end is how we can come together. And you were like, well, we can't do that because somebody's always going to question why somebody's in charge.
Oh, yeah.
What I was saying is, if we talk to each other and educate each other, and then, move from there and then try to come together, it'll be much more solidified. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's all I was trying to say.
I missed that one part. I missed that one part. But nah, man. But I believe that too. And and then even that's how me and you started with this. It was like, right. I was like in my head, just like, I've been wanting to do this for a while. And then I talked to the said person. He's like, oh, Joy was saying the same thing. And I said, oh, okay, cool. I said, I'm gonna ask her. And then they was just like, she ain't doing no podcast with you. And I was sitting there like, okay, I'll ask her anyway. It took me about 2 days. And I said, hey, I hear you, da 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 da. He's like, oh, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? You were receptive, and we brainstormed on the clock. We brainstormed while we got paid, and we came up with the name, concept, and we worked it out.
And then that's what I was saying. It's like, you don't know where somebody's head is until you actually talk to them. Like, you might see somebody like, oh, they ain't living right, but you don't know what their mentality is until you actually talk to them. You don't know why they're doing what they're doing. You don't know what the purpose is. So until you talk to them and listen to their story and their experiences, and then accept them for who they are, then you can say, well, let's come together. I know we're different, just like me and you when we started this podcast. Like, I know we're different, but at the same time, we have something in common. Let's find the common ground, and let's use that to build the friendship, and then let's come together to accomplish what we need to accomplish. That's what I'm saying.
I'd like to point out that I'm not Julia's friend. We are cohorts on this podcast, but we are not friends. Continue.
But we come to a common ground, and we understand each other, and we're able to work together, even though we have difference in opinions, right?
Yep, and you cuss me out every day.
But the simple fact is we still riding together. This podcast, we're on our 20th episode. Like, that is an obstacle. You know what I'm saying? And it can be like that in everyday life with everyday people.
What's up, Julie? We not looking over you. We just be talking.
Hey,
Julie, patron. Hey, upgraded patron. Top tier right now. Got the email. Didn't know what she was doing. I say, shit, okay. Thank you so much.
I just love everybody, and I want everybody to love each other.
Lord. Oh. Let's talk about what you got this love and you got this feeling for. Tell me what's going on. Joy, just share why you kumbaya and I said that's slow.
Guys, it's happening right now as we speak. I'm missing it, but our Patreons and our subscribers are very important to me. So I seen some of the Erykah Badu and Jill Scott live stream on Instagram. And it's just amazing. See, that's why I got my chef hat on. You know, not just because of salt and pepper, but I have my chef hat on because I'm about to cook up some knowledge for y'all. Okay? About to whip up that knowledge.
You looked at me like that because I wasn't expecting cook up knowledge. Why did you look at me like that? I'm not gonna say nothing.
I'm actually looking at myself. So
okay. Oh, okay. Hey, could you move over to a little bit this way?
No, Ken, it's not gonna work this time.
Hey,
it's not gonna work this time. Stop.
No, listen. To the left a little bit. You kind of off center. A little bit. Please move a little bit to the left. Get off your own fucking nuts.
Actually, that was the right. Ha.
But it was my left.
I don't care. But I watched some of the live and I feel enlightened. I feel like they touch me spiritually with their music.
Ooh, touching on my inside parts.
Pause. But I like, this is one of the best things that could have ever happened to me in my life. And I say that with all of my heart, only because growing up, like Erykah Badu and Jill Scott and Roots and just so many other people have been a part of my life since I've been on this earth. So the things that I love doing and enjoy doing, their music has been playing in the background through every single moment of that. So that is what made me so happy to see them. And then to go into their live, and it's not like really a battle, like they're uplifting each other as they're battling, which is so crazy because it's like, you know, Jill Scott will play a song and Erykah Badu was like, man, that was beautiful. Like, what headspace were you in when you did that? And the saxophone and the instrumental is just crazy. And who did that? And then, you know, Erykah Badu will play a song and then Jill Scott will sing along and then compliment her and just show her so much love. And it's like, when I seen that, and then also when I hear these songs, it's like they're replaying my life for me. Because when me and my mother would cook in the kitchen, you know what I'm saying? Their songs would be playing in the background. Or when I used to write songs myself, I would get inspiration from them. It's just so beautiful. And like, I love these ladies to death. And you know, they're an inspiration to me. So I'm so happy they decided to do that. I'm going to have to catch the rest of it on replay, but man, it just opened me up. It woke me up today, you know, and I feel so spiritually relaxed and just humbled, you know, by the way they interacted with each other, you know. Hopefully one day I'll be able to touch people with my music like that too. So
heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race.
No, we gotta sing. No. In honor of Erykah Badu and Jill Scott, you have to sing one of their songs if you're gonna sing today.
Bad lady, you gon' hurt your back. Hanging around the back. See the vibrato?
No, dragging all them bags like that.
Cause you got so much stuff.
When they see you coming, people take off running from you. It's true. Always
Niggas got this complex occupation.
That's a whole different song.
I know. But when the beat drop, I might break this chair.
That's one of my favorite songs by Erykah Badu. It's called Danger. If you guys don't know it, stream it right now.
Not while we're doing this, but after.
But I really, really love them and appreciate every song that they've ever dropped. It's like, I was always on it when they came out with new stuff. And then, you know, one thing for me is that I actually went completely bald at one point of my life. And I wasn't afraid. You know, I was trying to bleach my hair and my hair fell out and I ended up having to shave it all off.
You lied to me.
I wasn't afraid because—
You lied to me.
What?
You told me you did it on purpose. You ain't tell me you fucked your shit up. You told me you did it.
I did it multiple times, but the first time wasn't on purpose.
Oh, you ain't talking about the first time. You talking about the time when you was modeling with you. How was you looking? Well, you gotta put the hand on this. With your part.
Be quiet. Let me tell my truth. Thank you.
Tell it then. Brother got this complex occupation. You gotta make the ugly face when you sing that neo soul.
That is a very ugly face.
I know, you have to.
Anyway.
Unlock the trunk stay.
Trunk stay locked, the Glock on hot. Anyway, so
keep on side your bed.
I ain't never gonna tell this goddamn story.
I would listen to that when we get off of here.
For your information, I was not about to cry.
I saw you look straight up in the sky for a second. I was like, she's trying to pull him in. She's trying to pull it back.
I'm a gangster. I don't cry.
Shit.
I might get it.
You're a liar. You're a liar. Right before we started, you was like, "Oh my God, I have to redo my makeup because I'm just so emotional right now." I'm like,
I'm
sitting there like, I'm like, damn, who did you something? Because I know you got the trolls with your other podcast thing like that. So I'm thinking something they did or said, and then thinking it's good news on the other situation. So I'm thinking about that. I'm like, well, damn. And then you go screen share, and it's like everybody doing just got okay.
Okay, so I was planning some bleach, right? Trying to bleach my hair because I wanted like really, really white hair, right? And it's achievable. My thing is I wasn't patient.
So listen, let's go back for a second. Let's slow down because you're talking real fast. So when you say you were using bleach, was it Clorox or Purex?
No, it was hair bleach that you buy.
I don't understand what that is. I always thought when people say, "Oh, I'm bleach blonde," I thought they used like regular Clorox.
No, it's hair bleach. It's a powder, and then you mix it with the solution, and then what you do, or a developer is what they call it, and you mix it up and you set it on your hair, and you can actually watch it for a while, and it takes the pigment out of your hair over time. My problem is that I did it multiple times in one day, and you're actually supposed to gradually lighten your hair. So pretty much my hair turned into like rubber bandy type texture, and it was just falling out. So I was like, I'm just gonna have to shave it. And I did.
That.
I have pictures, but
share. Please.
I'll think about it. If you're nice, I'll share it. Do you guys want to see it? I'll share a
picture.
Put
a one down if you want to see Patchy Head Joy.
It wasn't patchy. It was beautiful. But long story short,
no. We want to see. No, we want to see the patchy rubber band man.
Oh, I don't have any pictures of that.
Damn it!
I actually cried at first but I was like, you know what? Just go ahead and shave it off, because it brought me back to Erykah Badu, and I was like, she wears her head bald, and I'm not afraid because she can do it, and then she was beautiful with it, so why not?
Facts on facts on facts.
So it gave me the courage to do it, and then I let my hair grow out again. It was a nice size or a nice length on it, and then I just was like, you know what? Forget hair. Let's go ahead and shave it down again. So I did it, and then I just got more comfortable with it.
You just recently cut your hair, but
I did.
it wasn't that low, but you cut it.
I just recently shaved the sides, so my next hairstyle, I'm going completely bald again. Got a problem with that?
I know you got a hook on the back of your head.
I do not have a hook on the back of my head.
Can I put you, if I picked you up and put you on the door frame, would your head hold you on it? You don't have a flat head. Your head has a hook on it.
My head is perfectly round because my mother shaped my head when I was a baby.
No, your head's perfectly round because it's small.
No.
She said, no. No.
My dad
Hey,
has
we got 4 people up in here, and y'all just sitting there looking at us. Y'all need to start talking or something. I don't come over here to talk to Joy. Y'all come over here to talk to y'all.
My dad has a point on his head.
I think the lick is kicking in a little bit.
Yeah, you are getting kind of angry. Are you angry?
No, listen. No, I'm tired. I've been whooping my ass. I haven't been whooping my own ass, but them crawfish whooped my ass. Literally. I didn't know that it was gonna be like that. I gotta find, the thing is, you know what it is? I need a better system. Now, everything went off without a hitch, but what I envisioned in my head, what I wanted it to be, which is kind of difficult because I'm in an apartment and we can't run businesses out of our apartments. And it was like kind of it was discreet per se, you know what I'm saying? But I want to be like out in the open where I can just chill. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't got to worry about nothing. Then the flies was fucking crazy. Where's Bobby Duke? Yeah, Patrick, where's Bobby Duke at? But nah, man, it's all good, man. But in more news about Ahmaud Arbery, an arrest has been made of his killers. Arrest, awaiting trial, no bond. They're not bonding out. But there is an organization, Christians Against whatever, I forgot what they were against, but they were raising money to get them out. Christians Against whatever, raising money to get him out.
At the end of the day, there's always people on different sides of the fences. So no matter who's right or wrong in the situation, which we kind of know what's right and wrong in this situation, there's always going to be people that support the other side. So that doesn't surprise me. But at the same time, I think that the arrest is only the first step of this. We still have to get them convicted because it was murder. It was on video, and people they should own up to their crimes when they do them. So whether or not that they were arrested, that's great, but they still need to be convicted. So I'm not celebrating too early. I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm glad the first step was actually made, you know.
I got an unpopular opinion.
What's that?
Someone sent me a video earlier today of these 2 guys that I follow. Now, I do not agree with a lot of things that they say. I don't. But being that I did watch the video, but the angle was kind of fucked up, and you never knew what happened before, or, you know, this, that, and the other. So basically, they were on both sides. They were They had two sides of it. They were saying, because I thought it was gonna be some fucked up shit when they started. Because he said, I'm finna say some shit that y'all ain't gonna like. So he starts talking about them, and then them and they're carrying their weapons, and then they went on to say how they carry weapons and for the protection of themselves and their families and things like that. So I said, oh, they about to be on some bullshit.
This is how the law works, and I will say this. No.
Kev,
this is how the law works.
Kev, let me finish.
No, let me say something first.
Can I land? Let me land.
You didn't even let me tell my bald head story.
I did. You were done. You paused. I said, okay, in other news.
No, I'm talking about, you kept interrupting me. So let me say this. Their definition of a citizen's arrest did not match the definition of a citizen's arrest under law. You have to.
I'm glad you said that, because that's what I was just about. You always, right when I'm about to say what you say, I'm just like, how shit in my fucking head?
Listen to me. So a citizen's arrest is valid if you actively witness a crime, or if a crime is in progress, and you go and stop the. Huh?
Did you watch the same video?
No. No. Listen,
because they were basically saying that.
Now, in this particular situation, they seen the guy running. They called the police and said he's a burglar, or he is a suspect of burglary. That should have been the end of it. If you might suspect something, you call the police and you let them handle it. Same exact thing.
You're telling my story.
The same exact thing.
You're telling my story. You like,
well,
after you finish what you say, I have nothing else.
Exactly. So the same thing happened with George Zimmerman. He called the police. They said, do not pursue. He did the same thing and stuff happened. So leave people alone. Like I said, I'm a firm believer of mind my business. If I see something going on, I'll call the police and let them do their job. That's what they get paid for. I will not approach anybody with a gun, because you're asking for trouble at that point, unless that person is actively committing a crime. If they're harming somebody else, say like a man is beating up another man or beating up a woman, and you are seeing this, then maybe step in. But don't approach anybody if they're not doing anything. You call the police if you're suspicious, and you let them do their job. That's what our tax dollars go to, and that's their job to handle, not ours.
Right. And that's what they were saying too. They were saying that, it was kind of fucked up, because they were saying if they saw him running up the street like that, and they say if he didn't have a TV off his back, covered in blood, they shouldn't even did anything. They said they were so fucked up for coming to that situation with rifles and following them and things like that, but this, that, and the other. But the flip side to that, which I also agree with, which is an unpopular opinion, is that it's gonna be mad. Y'all gonna get, y'all gonna get fucking mad at what I'm about to fucking say.
Just say it already.
But I do agree with it to a certain extent. But when Ahmaud Arbery saw the gentleman outside of his car with the rifle, they probably would have shot him in the back, but he could have ran away.
No, I don't agree. When they came out there, their intentions was to harm him or to hold him, either or. But at the same time, if you don't know these people, these are strangers, and they're approaching you and they're grabbing you, or they're pointing a gun at you.
But listen,
you don't know what's going on. They didn't identify themselves.
Did you watch the video?
Yes.
But listen, what you said is, with what you saw in the video, did Ahmaud Arbery have an opportunity to run the other way?
He did. But
so that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's wrong for what he did and fighting for whatever.
About this last episode. It was flight or fight. You cannot outrun a bullet.
And that's why I said I'm gonna say this, because I don't know what was said, transpired before that, and what led to him to continue to run towards them and fight. So I don't know that's what I'm saying. I don't know what was said and why he did it, but it just gives you a thing like, damn. just say like if you're running and you see me with the gun in my hand, not even a rifle, and you're running towards me, you're gonna be like, oh shit, that motherfucker got a gun. Let me go this way. You know what I'm saying? But we don't know what happened before that. That's what I'm saying.
It depends on what type of person you are. Like I said,
True, and that's what I said. But I'm reflecting. I'm reflecting and watching the video. I'm like, man. You know what I'm saying? It's so many things that could have.
Okay,
what happened happened. But
let me ask
so
you
different things. Huh?
Let me ask you a question. You exercise, right?
I do.
You stay in shape. If you're on a light jog, which you do, and men approach you in 2 trucks with 2 rifles and jump out of the truck on you and start running up towards you with rifles, what are you going to do?
Me? I'm gonna run away.
Are you sure? Because they're going to continue to pursue you until they get you because they think you've done a crime. So then what do you do?
I'm gonna run. First of all, you're asking me, but I've worked in law enforcement. I'm gonna go find cover.
Right. Oh, cool. Okay, but put it outside of your law enforcement training. So if they continue to pursue you with rifles and they're trying
I'm gonna run away.
Quote, detain you, and they catch up to you, then what are you going to do? Because all the while you're running from them, they can shoot at you.
Right.
And all the while, and then if they don't decide to do that and they catch you, then what are you going to think? Why are they holding me? Why are they doing this to me? Then what are you going to do?
I'm going to keep running until they catch me.
You can't keep running. What if they catch you? Then what are you going to do?
I have to fight.
Exactly.
But but listen, no, the difference is I ran away first.
Hey, brother. Thank you for joining us.
What up, Zach? You asked me what I would do.
Right, that's what you would do. But his mind said, they're coming at me with rifles. I'm only jogging. I've done nothing wrong. And they're questioning me or trying to detain me for no reason. I don't know these men. They have rifles. I'm black. They're white. What's going on? You have 2 options. And I've said this before. You fight or flight. He chose to fight because in my mind, I would have done the same thing because you cannot outrun a bullet. If I ran, they would have got me anyway. That's what's going on in my head. If I run, they're going to shoot at me. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to get killed. If I run away, I might as well just take my chances and try to take these rifles out of their hand. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way for him and he was murdered. But in my head, that's what I'm thinking. If I run, they're going to shoot at me and get me anyway. I might as well just stand up and try to do the best that I can. So.
But at the end of the day, we have options.
And at that point, in my mind, I'm like, what's the point in running? If they're going to shoot me in my back, I might as well try to disarm them. And that was his right.
Yeah. Yes, I do it. Listen, I agree with you. But what I'm saying is, this is just a retrospective look at it. And I'm sitting there like, man, it's just his whole, that's just the mind that I have of being in law enforcement. It's like,
but you have that training. That's what I'm saying.
But that's what I'm just asking myself, like, why did he do that? Not saying he was wrong. I'm not saying he was wrong, but what I'm saying is what I saw in the video and the angle of the camera, the guy was in a vehicle who was videotaping him. He was on one side of the street with oncoming traffic. He was facing oncoming traffic. He was running that way. Then he crosses the street and runs downside the vehicle that stopped in the middle of the road. And then that's when the guy comes around. And then that's when they fight. And then it goes back into the street. So I'm sitting there like, he had at least 30 feet to make a decision to go the other way. You know what I'm saying?
But I have to say this though, and I don't want to interrupt you, but I have to say this. You have specific training in that particular field. Right. We're everyday people. Some of us have never, you got to understand, some of us have never even held a gun in our life. and somebody is pointing one at you, you do not know what to do every single time. Not one gun, two guns.
I didn't. But what he did, but what from what the video is, I didn't see the gun come up because I couldn't see the dude. That's what I'm saying. I couldn't see it. I didn't when it's just the truck. I didn't see the dude until they were fighting. You see what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, if he's in a whole nother lane, he could have made an immediate left.
We don't know what was said either. He could have said something.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying.
Anything. But all I know is you don't have to say nothing to me. If you're approaching me with a gun, all I know is that either one of two things. I'm going to either run or I'm going to fight. And then another thing is, once I decide which one of those that I'm going to do, I'm gonna put my 100% into it. But I know for one thing, in my mind, this is just me speaking. You have a different opinion because you've been in law enforcement, you've had training, you can assess the situation differently than a normal person. So for me, a person who just goes about their day like normal, maybe go to the mall or to the grocery store. If somebody approaches me and is coming at me with a gun and I have no idea what's going on, the best option for me is to try to disarm them, because running away from them is only guaranteed to get you shot in the back if they're pursuing you.
And as I'm thinking this and going through my training, here's the thing. He fucked up, but he ran to the situation without a plan, because in my training, I know
that was a split-second decision, though. Like I said, us normal people don't know how to handle it.
And that's what I was just about to say. This is just me on my law enforcement side, right? The best thing to do for anybody who's listening, if I'm gonna give you a couple scenarios that probably would be in something that may happen to us. You're in a public place and you hear gunfire, don't run. If you cannot see the shooter, don't run.
But see, I know that. We know that already.
No, a lot of people don't.
If you're in the mall and there's an active shooter situation, the best thing for you to do is to get inside of a store and find cover. That's the best. That's common sense.
No,
you're not gonna walk in.
No, listen.
Oh, yeah, y'all hear the bullets going? Yay!
No, listen. No, what common sense isn't common, but some people hear gunfire and they think run first, and you could be running to the shooter, and you cannot.
That's just panic, and you can get trampled.
No. What I'm saying is, no. Listen, I'm trying to inform people.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, King. Go ahead.
I'm trying to inform people. What I'm saying is, if you're somewhere and you hear a shooter and you can't see the shooter, stop. Assess the situation, find cover. And an exit strategy after that. Once you figure out where the gunshots are coming from, find a way to get away from them. Don't run, because you could be running to them. Secondly, if you're presented with someone with a weapon and their weapon is drawn but not pointed at you or at anybody, it just sprang up on you, the dumbest thing you're gonna probably hear me say, and if you have fight in your mind, map it out and you run towards them, because their reaction time is taken away from them and you can get the jump on them. They'll probably fumble with the gun, or they can't even get it out, and then they'll drop it all together. Now they have to fight. So you have to
be, and they're not expecting that reaction. Yeah. When you flash somebody a weapon, they're like, oh shit, oh now they scared, or whatever the case is. I agree with that 100%. If they have a gun on their hip and they're not supposed to have it, or you see like they open their jacket and they got a weapon in there, then of course you're going to take your chances and you're going to fight, and you're going to make sure that they don't draw that weapon.
Right.
But I think in this situation, and I know that you are explaining scenarios, but at the same time, this person was approached with drawn guns by 2 different people. He was basically cornered and he had no choice but to do what he did, because if he ran, they already, we don't, like I said, we don't know what was said on the video. So
Right.
we don't know what they told him or whatever the case is to make him want to fight as well. Maybe he would have ran the other way, but you don't know that. You know what I'm saying? We don't know the whole entire story
I'm
until
just going by what I'm just looking at it with no sound. I'm looking like, man, I'm just thinking of so many different things that could have been done, but he did what he thought was right. But at the end of the day, he was murdered. That's just point blank period. At the end of the day, he was murdered. Those guys didn't have no business out there trying to citizens arrest him because he came from a housing development and on the job. There's no reason for them to do that. He was murdered. So all my statements, I still agree that this guy was Ahmaud Arbery was murdered. That's
it was a lose-lose situation, whether you ran and got shot or whether you fought and got shot. Yeah. He still was approached by 2 people who had no business approaching him. They did it after the fact that they had already called the police. Let the police do their job. That's what they're trained for. They're trained for that. You're not trained for that.
I forgot what it was.
Because if a police officer would have approached Ahmaud, it would have been completely different scenario of what it went down. A well-trained police, I will say that. Not the ones that are out here racially profiling and all that stuff, but a well-trained police officer would have de-escalated that situation and said, look, I'm sorry, sir, but you got to come with me. You're a suspect in a burglary. We're going to go back to the office. We're going to figure this out, see the valid concerns or whatever the case is, and we're going to make sure that we investigate this. That is what a well-trained police officer would have done. Now, in that particular situation, I don't think Ahmaud would have fought him, but if he did fight the police officer, then the police officer had every right to subdue him or to, you know, get him down and handcuff him if the situation got iffy. He would have had every right. But these men had no right to do what they did at all. And they're trying to make it seem like it's just a clean citizen's arrest when they shouldn't even been there in the first place. You called the police, let them do their job. Stay home.
I got a question.
Yes.
Because being that I'm in law enforcement and I see that you're passionate about these types of topics, but can I just ask for an impartial?
What's up, Mikey?
An impartial opinion about what I'm about to ask you, okay? Now, being that being that I have been trained and this, that, and the other, and there have been several bad shoots and recorded videos of police officers and unarmed black men and things like that, being that I am a part of that side of it, I'm not in the brotherhood of any kind, this, that, and the other, because I am.
But you have the training and expertise.
But no, but I'm saying I was on the other side.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there was a question that was put on Facebook, which rubbed me the wrong way. One of my friends put on Facebook and said, are you blue before you're black? Or are you black before you're blue? And he was like, serious question. So I read it and I was like, I'm not going to say anything.
That question does not need an answer. You know why?
But listen, let me tell you what my response was. I said, I'm a man and I'm a human first. Now ask your real question. That's what I told him. You know what I'm saying? He never responded to my question. I'm sitting like, but why would you say that? It's just like people have such an issue with the police and what they do and this, that, and the other. But what I want to say is this. I can say that a badge does not make anyone better. It doesn't make anyone smarter. It doesn't make anyone more competent. No matter, here's the thing. Yes, we're trained to subdue people by force or by words, lethal force with the tools that we're given. But at the end of the day, you cannot go to the academy and be trained to be a good person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I think that the police officers or the people that work in any type of law enforcement, officials or anything like that. They have the responsibility to be as unbiased as possible. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with that. And the question that that person posted was ignorant. First of all, I'm going to say that it was a bait question and it wanted to get people in their feelings. I feel like this, like you said, you're a human being first before you're black or before you're blue, period.
Right.
So if you go out there with the mindset of everybody is as equal to me as I am, and they're humans too, then you should not have a problem being a police officer at all.
Right. But what I'm saying, but the nature of the job, you can't be that. You have to understand your personnel and your surroundings. Like I
Right,
can't,
of course. And I know that that job can be very stressful for one. Yeah. It can be very nerve-wracking for another. Like you're out there and you don't know if you're gonna go home that day. And I get it. My older brother worked in law enforcement, so I completely understand that. Now, in this particular case, that should have been a trained official out there. You know what I'm saying? Because they would have handled the situation differently. And
he was a retired law enforcement.
No.
He was a DA investigator.
But those are the type of people that you're talking about when you go out there and you, like you said, you can't train people to be a good person or a decent person. So I don't believe that, and especially in the South, there's, all the way up to the North and all other countries, they know Southern United States is very prejudiced and also very racial towards other races. So it gets to the stigma to where it's like sometimes you can't trust them. But I would trust an active duty law enforcement over a retired law enforcement any day. That's their job. They're actively doing that right now. It may not have been the same way when you worked in there, but you're retired. You shouldn't have any say-so in this. Right. Yeah, you know how to work a gun and you know certain protocols that have been going on forever and ever within law enforcement, but you're not up to date trained on today. Right. So you should have still stayed out of it. You retired
but I want to pull the veil back and give you the mind of an officer. You know what I'm saying? I want to start this by saying that I'm not taking up for anybody, but when you deal with certain areas, especially the South, and if you're from the hood like me, I didn't have friends who said I want to be a cop. You know what I'm saying? I want to do this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, when you have white police officers interacting with black people, that's because the percentages of black officer and white officer is like sometimes 9-1. You know what I'm saying? So that's the interaction. But the thing is just that, please don't kill me. When we start throwing around the words prejudice and racist, yes, there are some. I can tell you this, by working with these people, and here's the thing, we do fucked up jokes about everybody. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that is a very small percentage. Yes, they're there, but it's a very small percentage. But then we start throwing that narrative out saying prejudice cop, racist cop. That's just like saying they come to our hood and say the baby mama ain't got no baby daddy. Look at that, this, that, and that is the same argument from two sides, and they're both lies. Some truth, but both lies. But I want to say that being black and being an officer and wearing a badge, and all I did was federal security. That's what I did. Federal security, law enforcement. I worked in federal facilities that service the public. We were the first person they saw. You get somewhere, that's who you're probably interacting with. We had the federal police inside our building, but I wanted to say, like, I've had to put my hands on people. I've only put my weapon once. But I've had to pull my, here in San Antonio, I've put my hands on a lot of people, not beating them up, but I've had to handle them in a certain type of way. But just because I have a badge, it's like, hey man, you don't have to do them like that. You don't have to do them like that. Or if somebody comes to your job, like I'm sitting at my desk like this, hey, good morning. You know, you a bitch with that badge on. If you ain't had that badge on, I'll whoop your ass. Or you a bitch. Like people go to work every day and do not have to subject themselves to that type of verbal abuse just sitting on the job. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you subject me to verbal abuse at the job that we at now. So I mean,
that's true. That is very true. But what I'm saying is, I will agree with that. But what I'm saying is, I'm not calling your types of bitches and hoes and stupid bitches. You dumb. You shouldn't be
I
working here. You trying to be some trick. You know what I'm saying?
I 100% get it, Ken. But at
listen,
the end
but
of
what
the
I'm
day,
saying is, let me ask you a question. But say you had to, first of all, you go to work. You wake up and you just say, man, today's gonna be a good day. You pet your dog, you kiss your wife, you walk out, and as soon as you get to your job, somebody's calling you a bitch ass nigga, or you a puss ass cop. Man, fuck that badge. Man, I'll whoop your ass. I'll beat your ass. I'll do this. Man, fuck you. This, that, and the other. I'm about to go over here and do this to this person, and I dare you to put your hands on me. Don't fucking put your hands on me. Don't do this. Don't do that. You a bitch. You a bitch. You a bitch. Now, as a human, how long do you think someone can take that before they just go like, man, fuck this shit? Now, a badge does not go across your chest and put a spear around you to where you can just say, I'm a law enforcement officer and I'm not human and I'm able to take this verbal abuse every day, even though I'm not doing anything to anyone. I'm trying to keep everybody safe. But one day you just like, today's the fucking day. I'm gonna slap the shit out of somebody. I'm gonna tell you this. I've said that. My coworkers have said shit like that, but we say that just to get that verbal bullshit out. We ain't saying it to nobody. We may have said it to each other, but we have to get that off our chest to save a motherfucker's life.
Right.
You know
I think that me, and this is why I would never sign up to be any type of law enforcement at all, but I would agree that you would be 100% justified in those actions because of the fact that I take that as a threat.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm a law enforcement officer of any type and someone comes up to me and they're like, hey, you a bitch, you can't fight, like you got that badge on, I dare you to touch me, I'm gonna touch them.
And you be fine with any illegalities.
Right, and I would, and this is why I don't choose to do anything like that.
But what I'm saying is, what do you think? Just say you did that and you kept your job. What do you think people would say about you?
What?
They would just say, "Oh shit, officer, whatever your last name is fucked up. She do this. She put her hands on people. They don't ever do nothing. They just move her. They don't do nothing. They don't do nothing."
No, because I would make sure that.
But that's what happens in our world is when. If you have a bad situation,
but the thing is that I would have some type of evidence proving the reason why I'm justified in doing what I'm doing. Because at the end of the day,
if it's just words, there's no justification.
Well,
if it's just words, there's no justification. If they didn't put their hands on you or in the commission,
this is why I'm not an officer. Because
that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, there's people who did sign up for that. Now there's people out there who signed up for the shits and giggles of it. Like, I can't stand to hear people talk about fucking guns. Just like, yeah, I got, like, even maybe those two guys. Yeah, I got this here rifle here, and it does this and it does that. We can shoot this. I got the sights. I got a custom this and custom that, and this. That's how they talk.
Is that what they sound like?
That's what they say. I can shoot a fly off the ass of a hound dog with this guy here, right? Wouldn't even touch the dog. I can shoot your mama and your brother and not you, and you standing right behind them with this gun right here. I can put it hold 32 shots, but it shoot 33. They talk like that type of shit. This round, that round, we can modify it with this. I hate that type of talk because those are bitches. because they can't fight. They just have to have their guns. They just enjoy. Like I've worked with people who just, I'm a peace officer. I'm gonna stick my chest out a little further. I'm a peace officer. My badge and my gun never made me. But I was like the thuggish type. Like my homegirl, if she comes in here today, I'm gonna tell you a story about Natalie. Natalie, I took a picture of her on Facebook. She was a loyal customer. She was in training. That was the one that did the Pico the guy you in the bag with the field knife. And I had never had Pico before. Natalie, she's a guy. She's a dude. She has a penis.
But you always call people dudes.
She's a dude, man. I'm telling you, Natalie saved my job. At least, I know one time for sure. One day, I'm at work. I'm sitting at my fucking desk. I worked at the Social Security office downtown. Dude was getting irate about some situation. And he was this, that, and the other. And then I give people chances. I'll just go like, hey, man, look, you need to lower your voice. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. You know, they're trying to help you. Just go and have a seat or whatever. Then they try to plead to me. I say, look, I'm just security. I'm here for the order. You don't have to tell me your story. They heard your story. If they can help you, they'll help you. But do what they tell you to do. And then come back tomorrow. And this, that, and the other. So got it down. I go back to my desk. Someone calls my phone. Hey, Ken, get the window so-and-so. Now he's standing up with his head in the fucking damn near the window, so I gotta fucking put my hand on him, right? He jerks back from me. That's automatic resisting right there. When he turns and tries to face me, I have to defend myself. I have to get some distance between me and him, right? So I do what I have to do. I say, hey man, you're done for today. Let's go ahead and step outside. We'll just go, you know, this, that, and the other, whatever. So he talking loud. You was a bitch, man, fuck you. You was a white guy. You was a bitch ass cop, fuck you, blase, this and that, and blase, this and that. And I said, this was the day. So somehow they called downstairs. Natalie works outside on the radio. I hear them, somebody called downstairs and said, Ken may need some help, which I probably didn't, but they need witnesses because the people that I work with in the Social Security, they know me. And so Natalie, we're in the hallway, there's 2 elevators. I'm trying to get him to go down, and you know, Natalie happens to come up. So she hears him say, if you didn't have that fucking badge on, I'll beat your fucking ass. He said, you ain't shit without that badge. This is what I did. She had just came off the elevator. Bloop. Pulled that bitch off. And I said, I ain't got no badge on now. What's happening? I was really ready to risk it all. So he's in the back of the fucking elevator, right? My foot's in the elevator. I said, come off the elevator, come over here. Because it was another area we can go around the corner. They were doing construction. I said, come over here, come with my ass. Come do what you say you're gonna do. I'm looking him dead in his eyes. I'm not taking my eyes off of him. All I hear is Natalie say, she said my last name. Everyone knows my last name, but I'm not gonna say it on the internet. It says my last name.
Multiple times on the internet already.
Have I?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, they don't know that. But I'm not gonna do it for the new niggas. You got to go find that episode. But she goes, your last name, get off the elevator. She goes, come on, let's go. I'm not saying nothing to the dude no more. I'm just staring at her. She said, come on, let's go. Then my other partner came up, Robert. He go, my last name. Hey, let's go, man. Come on. And he puts his hand on me. He grabs me and he pulls me back. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, nah, we're not even gonna do that. He said he gonna whoop my ass. So then I got in the elevator with him. They finally let me go. I say, hold my spot. Shut the hell up, Julie. You could have took the E off, god damn it. The pools are closed. But I finally said, hold my area. I'm gonna walk him down. We'd ride all the way down the fucking elevator, 7 floors. Just so happened the federal police are in the fucking lobby. He runs out the elevator, goes, oh my God, he said he was gonna hit me. Oh my God, he said he was gonna hit me. Oh my God, why does he? And so they know me. They know how I do my business or whatever. So they was just like, yo, your last name, you know, go back upstairs or whatever. Dude was like, "Y'all not gonna do anything." He threatened me. They was just like, "Sir, have a nice day." And I just went back upstairs to my desk or whatever. But that day, I was ready to risk it all. And Natalie,
I put it like this.
saved my job.
Any person who thinks that they are above the law deserves some type of punishment. And that's plain and simple because, and this is why
criminals have more rights. Criminals have more rights than law enforcement.
This is why I feel that people need to be raising their children correctly. When you have spoiled children who don't understand consequences, those are the type of people that creates. And that is what causes people and law enforcement and anybody like that to have to experience stuff like that.
Right.
So at the end of the day, it goes based off of each person and what their mindset is. You know what I'm saying? So I understand what you're saying. Like, you don't want to take verbal abuse every day on your job. I get it. I understand it. And, I don't want anybody to have to go through that. But at the end of the day, the people who do stuff like that, they're asking for that type of stuff. Right. You know what I'm saying?
I would try to counsel those guys too. There was a young black guy, a young black man. And he said, and the thing is, I could have put my hands on him. I could have detained him. I could have taken him to the federal police for what he said inside of a federal building. What he said inside of a federal, he threatened the officers in the area. We could have detained him. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different things we could have detained him or whatever. And this is exactly what I did. So he goes to us and say, man, they're not taking them on people with clothes. He cusses us out, calls us bitches, said that he was gonna, I don't understand. I don't remember what type of bodily harm he wanted to inflict on us. But we kind of laughed. He was a kid. He was maybe 17, 18 years old, man. Could have been in his 20s. But he goes and says something stupid inside the federal building to us. And I went around the podium and I said, hey man, I said, sit down. He go, man, I'm not sitting down. I said, man, sit down, bro. Let me talk to you for a second, because you're gonna get yourself fucked up. I'm talking this man to man now. I said, you're gonna get yourself fucked up, bro. Fuck this badge. You're gonna get yourself fucked up. I say, what makes you think it's okay to say something like that to us? This motherfucker goes to the freedom of speech line. Well, it's a freedom of speech. I can say what I want to say. I say, that's where you're wrong. Because just say, if I didn't like what you fucking said, and you said something to me, and I punch you in your mouth. He said, you can't push. I said, I can do what I want to do. I can do what I want to do. You have the freedom to say what you want to me, and I have the power to punch you in your mouth.
This is what people don't understand, and I 100% agree with you. This is the first time that I'm going to beat it into your head that I 100% agree with you, because freedom of speech does not equal freedom of consequence.
Right.
Plain and simple.
Yes.
You can pop off all you want. You can say whatever you want. But don't think for a second that just because you're free to say what you want, that you're free of consequence from what you say. Mm-hmm. And this is why I feel like people need to understand, like, you can't just be out here talking to people crazy, because you might cross the wrong one. You really will, But,
yeah. And but the thing is, it's like, yeah, they may sometimes, you can get loose and you might win that fight. You say what you wanted to say, and somebody gave you some consequences and they didn't put them consequences down like they should have, and you could, start defending yourself, and now, you won that battle. But then you come across somebody who just like, no, I'm gonna just knock you out. You know what I'm saying? It's just, but people just don't get that. But we've come off, Ahmad, we went to law enforcement, things like that. Now I can say this: yes, there are some bad apples in the group, and no, we do not report it. But I can say that we distance ourselves from it. Mm-hmm. We'll find a way to say, hey, I don't want to work with this person. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel comfortable with this person, because when it comes to, first of all, being in law enforcement, you're a part of a union. So once you start putting these grievances out there, you have representation to, well, this person said you did this, that, and the other. And if you can articulate an argument on why you did it and why you think you should do it, first of all, you're going to be reprimanded, but that doesn't make you change. It's hell. It's hell to get. Now, I'm not longer with that job for a certain situation, but that when I speak on the podcast, I'm not at that place for a certain situation, but I could easily go back. I could have went back before I left, but life goes on. You can't wait for motherfuckers to pay you. You know what I'm saying? But it is a thin line of getting, it's hell and high water to get fired from being a police officer, law enforcement, security on a high level, and anything. Even the fire department. It's just so many different, so much. You have to do something. And I'll say this.
You have to be convicted of something.
Yeah. I was just about to say, killing someone is not grounds for termination.
Right. It has
it's
to
grounds
be
for an investigation,
right.
But it's not grounds for a termination. If you can write and articulate an argument that says, and then the dead man tell no tales. If the person's dead, you can't tell. They can't tell their side of the story.
The thing is that this is what I don't like. I don't like the ones that lie. Be honest, be a human, say you made a mistake, take the consequences, because not only does the people that are on the street that have to deal with you have to take the consequences of your lies, but you also need to man up and take the consequences. Like I said, I don't have a problem with law enforcement. I don't have a problem with any of that stuff. It's just I want people to be fair. At the end of the day, this country would be better, and everyone that needs to be protected by the people in this country, law enforcement, would take to them better. Like you said, there's not very many Black police officers in certain areas, but at the same time, at the end of the day, if you're a human with understanding, yes, be cautious, do your job, but at the same time, give some type of benefit of the doubt to the opposite person from you than you would your own people. That's
but sometimes I'll say this: the average citizen will make a good cop bad. There's a lot of good cops coming in with good intention that are made bad on the job, being verbally assaulted, physically assaulted, just emasculated, or if being women, they're humiliated and embarrassed and things like that. But I forgot what I was about to say. But
that's when your training should come into play, though.
No,
you should know how to do that.
Your training has nothing to do with how you feel.
I know that. But when someone is cursing you out, or when they're, assaulting you, or whatever the case is,
you can't be trained
for that. No matter how you take it or not, there's training for that.
No,
don't take it.
There's no training for that. You can't train someone not to take something personal.
That's what I'm saying. There's no training for that, but I'm just saying there's training to de-escalate situations. And if somebody is cursing you out, or there's different levels to things, it goes from verbal to physical to whatever.
Can you train somebody to move their breaking point?
No, you can't.
That's what I'm saying. When these things happen, you've passed their breaking point.
Right. But
that's when you have to take time off that's not available. You have to, you got your personal life that's affected by types of shit like that. You can't even be a regular person. I was a regular person, but I can tell you this. I'm trying to see how much I can say. You hear me talk? I'm what you think I am. I'm not an idiot by any means, but I can move around in different places and scenarios. But now, let me say this. So when I took the opportunity to become law enforcement, like I went to Baton Rouge Police Department. I was overweight. I couldn't meet the physical requirements. That's when I started doing security and this, that, and the other. Then once I got to the feds, I had a good friend of mine, very good friend of mine, still is a great friend of mine. He raised me we use that term in the South, in the hood or whatever. He was one of my OGs back in the day. And so went to his crib and I told him like, yeah, man, what you doing these days? And this, that, and that. He doing this. And I say, yeah, I took this job doing this. So he gets asking questions like, so you work for who? You work where? What do you do? He say, you gonna always be my boy, but you can't come over here no more. You know what I'm saying? Because I
in your life.
Huh?
Those aren't the type of friends you need in your life.
No. Those are the friends that I need in my life, because if I come around where he wasn't gonna do nothing to me. It could be someone else do something to me.
True, but then they can also do something to him because of you.
Right. But what he said was that wasn't for a reason for him to be out of my life. I understood what it was when I signed up to shit. I could not do.
Some people come in your life for a reason or a season. So
no, he was there to be
right, but he was there to. I know, but he was there to be your OG and whatever the case is, and he was looking out for you, and that was his whole purpose of being there. You know what I'm saying? Hold that thought. I'll be right back.
I guess if we had a commercial break, this would be it.
Sing a song.
Sing a song full of I don't know the rest of the words. I wish I did. Hey, we got 3 people in here. If you're in here, say hello. You have any questions for me? Because I was doing a lot of rambling and taking up for the police. What y'all got to say? Nothing? Okay. Hopefully she comes back soon, because you guys are real quiet. All right. A lot of dead air, guys, because you're not talking to me. I'm trying to get my words out, but you won't let me know.
I'm back.
Oh yeah, I'm back.
But yeah, I mean, I completely understand what you're saying. So, and I get it. It's just all depends on, different people. And then the people that have that sense of entitlement that, might curse you out just because you're wearing a uniform or whatever the case is, that can be the person in the uniform too, that just wasn't raised a certain way and have that sense of entitlement. So it just goes to, that's why each situation needs to be assessed. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, a lot of times I feel that we shouldn't have the gun control where, nobody should have guns. I'm a firm believer of my right to bear arms. I do want to purchase a gun one day. I do want to own guns. I like guns. I'm a country girl, so, whatever the case is.
Do you have no shoes right now?
But at the same time,
why you look down at them? Do you at least have on socks?
I do have socks on.
Okay. Let's see. Them long motherfuckers.
They have hearts on them, and they say love. And yes, I have my pants tucked in them too.
You straight penitentiary. She wearing the pants like in Angola.
Shut up.
That's why your mama said you like them jailbirds.
Shut up. Let me finish what I was saying, because this was real deep.
I felt it. And you feeling this liquor too.
I had to go pee. That's why I left.
I know you did. I didn't want to say it. I did not say it. You the one said it. I was just like.
I had to tinkle. Anyway, I am a believer of the right to bear arms. Like, guns aren't bad. It's people that make the guns bad. So in this particular case, if they want to talk about gun control and different things like that, then I think you should mentally assess people before they're able to purchase a gun.
Right.
And then that'll solve all the issues. Yes.
No, that does
Yes,
not work.
it does, because you
It
need to
doesn't.
bring medical. You have to
No,
have medical records that show that you've never been diagnosed with any type of
No,
mental disorder.
listen. No, listen.
Okay, tell me.
There is no, what I'm saying is, there isn't a test in depth enough to where you can credibly say it will determine if there's a person who is not capable of carrying a weapon and a person who's capable of carrying a weapon. And then two, go back to what you said earlier, is that you believe in your right to bear arms. Now, when you start taking guns from people, you start to violate their civil rights. That's
I
the issue
understand
right
that,
now.
but if they're going to reform the law or rewrite it or whatever the
You
case
can't.
is,
Here's the thing. If you rewrite the law, you have to amend the amendment.
yeah, and they can definitely do that,
They
is what I'm
can,
saying.
but you know what? We don't change history. We don't.
We
History
do
that
change this.
old? No. Let me say. I'm just about to finish. History that old, when it comes to the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and things like that, we don't. We did that. That's why there's the first, second, third, fourth, fifth
But then that
amendment.
would,
So it was
I
changed.
understand.
It was changed once before. The thing about it is, we're too far gone to make another major change of a law that old amendment that's in the Bill of Rights of the Constitution. We can do it, but it's going to be extremely difficult because
We can't, because I mean, slavery existed,
those things were put in
segregation
place.
existed,
That's
all
what
of that existed.
Those things were in place before women could vote and before blacks could vote.
Before
Those
blacks
things
were
put in place.
free.
Huh?
I say that was even before blacks were freed. So
Right.
at the end of the day, it can change.
It can, but you know what it is? We have a catch-22. They made those changes when people were oppressed, black people and women. You know what I'm saying? And today, women vote at a percentage higher than men of any level. You see what I mean? But
right.
What I'm saying, they did that when they didn't have those types of rights. Those guys made that change. So now that we have the power of choice and that we can vote, there's where the difficulty lies. Because it's like, why change it if we have too many people who don't want it changed? The people who want it changed is a very small percentage. What I'm saying.
Right, but
not saying it can't be changed. Not saying it can't be changed, but
right. I'm just saying, like, it can, and you're completely right about the percentages, but at the same time, eventually we can get to where we can control who has the guns, not control whether or not we have them all together. That's all I'm saying.
That's true, because African Americans take a route to buying guns, and I'm not even talking about illegally, but they do things a different way. We go to pawn shops and shit like that.
Right.
White people go to Academy, Dick's, gun and knife shows, and this, that, and the other. And that's where the big thing was, because they started trying to infringe on the gun and knife shows. That's when white people got involved. But I mean,
a lot of those guns, though, end up in the wrong hands from the gun and knife show. Now, if you go to
I can't say place, a lot of guns are bought legally, but they're not secured safely, right, because they are, victims of burglary, and their guns are stolen, and this, that, and the other. Because I mean, if you just know somebody maybe from work, or because everyone we work with isn't of up to par. You see what I'm saying? So people talking loose. I did this this weekend. I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that. People who rob you are people who know you. Strangers don't rob you. It's very rare that a stranger robs you.
Unless they were watching you on social media, but then that was your own dumb fault.
Right. But then that's when you get your house broken into, but then people do insurance claims. Hey, come break into my house.
They report the weapon stolen, all kinds of stuff, everything. And I get that. And me, I would never buy a gun from a pawn shop because for one, I always think guns in pawn shops are dirty for
They
some
can't
reason.
be.
I know,
You
but
can't.
I just always
You
think,
can't sell a gun. You can't sell a gun in a pawn shop that doesn't have a serial number. And
I
if
know.
and here's the thing: buying a gun in a pawn shop is more reputable because they have to keep more extensive paperwork. So they have
I
to
know.
report the
It's just
guns and
my
this, that,
thing.
and the other. But I can say
I
this:
just
buying a
want
gun from a pawn shop,
new.
you don't know what you get. You could be buying a gun that needs repair. My first gun, when I started doing security, my grandmother bought it for me. I didn't know anything really about guns. It was cheap and I needed it for my job. It was a high point 40 caliber pistol. Great weapon. I actually shot a perfect qualifying score. Now, what I did not know in law enforcement is that you do not want to shoot a perfect qualifying score. Because if
Something
you shoot,
happens, they're gonna hold you to that accuracy. I already know. Like I
yes.
know games. I know
I
the
didn't
game.
know that. I was 26. I didn't know that. I thought I was doing good, but guess what? I used that gun to shoot that perfect score, and that motherfucker never worked again. Never worked again. No one told me that
Honestly,
the high point was a piece of trash. Now I liked it because it had a lot of weight on it. It felt good in my hand, and I'm a bigger guy, so I'm sitting there like, okay, cool, I can control this one. Sometimes the lighter weapons, I don't like them because I can't feel them.
yeah,
You know?
they're less accurate as well. So
no, I did pretty good with it, but I ain't shoot that perfect score.
I think they're less accurate because the kick from it, because it's so light. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I was
heavier weapons to me don't have as big of a kick.
I'm a big guy, so I can't agree with you because I like the heavier gun because of the kick. I could feel it. So
right.
I was shooting it and I was feeling it, but quick story. I was dating this girl and I was working for the feds and she went to the gun range with me. And so I said, how did I do? What did you see? Was there anything that you see? You don't know anything about guns, but was it something that I was doing? Because some people sometimes their arms are like fucked up, their legs, they might shoot on their toe, like their toe might be, like what I asked her, like, what did you see? She said, when you were shooting, I did not know when you were shooting because the gun didn't move.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so tight in my hand, it's not moving. But if I had the heavier gun, she probably would have saw it.
Right.
And that's what I don't like because I'm just shooting and nothing's happening.
Right. I think I have a gun store right around the corner from me, and I do eventually want to buy a rifle.
Do they sell gold guns in there? Because you know where you live at, they probably got diamond encrusted, Tiffany blue handled weapons.
They might, but I want a rifle, and I seen one that I really wanted, and I'm gonna get it. It's easier to buy a rifle than it is a handgun because they're not.
You can buy a rifle at 18.
Yeah, you can buy. It's easier to buy a rifle than it is a handgun, only because of the fact that you can't really conceal a rifle, even though you can get a trench coat. But handguns are more.
You can openly carry a rifle in your car.
You can, but it's you can see that though. If you have a handgun, you can hide that, and that's why it's harder to get a handgun.
Yeah, but it's actually easy. If your name's good in the streets and your ID's up to par, you can buy anything.
Yeah, of course, but I still want a rifle because I like the way they look. I like the fact that they are cool looking, I guess. That's all. I just like the way they look.
I don't like talking to people about guns. I
know.
I'm like, okay.
But I know the consequences of having a gun if you use it the wrong way. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't even like playing shooter games. Like, I know you're a gamer, but I don't even like playing like people like Call of Duty, Halo, or whatever other game is out there that has guns in it. I'm like, I don't want to play that game. They just talk about, yeah, I got this gun, I got that gun, I did this, I got that, I got this, I got that. I'm like, I carry guns for a living. I don't give a fuck about no gun. You can You have all the fucking modifications on that motherfucker you want. If you can't shoot that bitch, it ain't worth a damn. I got a teammate, because I play football, semi-professionally, might add. He talks about the guns that he has. And I say, why you got all them guns, man? You can't fight or something? Man, you never know. I say, bro, there's no reason for you to even have that gun. What are you going to do with it? And I'm just like, I just like them. I just trying to do. I'm like, brother, what? Now, I can say this. I'm not anti-rifle, but I'd much rather a handgun over a rifle. But he has a rifle. There's a long gun. And I'm sitting there like, for what? He goes to the range. He goes to the range. And I'm just like, it's just too much. I want to point and click that motherfucker.
I want it because I want to take it to the range with me, for one. For two, I mean, I want to hunt, you know, in case I need to. And then for three, I'm a small woman, and
I have a question.
Maybe I can beat another woman, but a very large person that comes and intrudes into my home, I may not be able to beat them.
I think you're talking about me. Are you gonna kill me?
I was not talking about you, first of all, because
I'm a very large person that has been in your home.
But are you breaking into my home?
Never know. When I walk through your door, I hit all the banister. You don't know what I'm doing.
I'm saying, am I gonna be asleep and then you gonna break into my home? Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
I had a joke with this. Oh, I got the joke back. Now I have a question.
What?
When you go hunting with your long gun, what's up, Sharonda? You were supposed to be on this episode, girl. Where you at? But
she got back too late.
Are you gonna wear shoes? What do you? Okay, got a follow-up question before you answer that. I got another question before you answer that. All right, so keep that question in mind. Are you going to? What are you shooting?
Deer.
Okay, cool. I'm glad you said that. One, are you gonna wear shoes? And two, are you gonna field dress it right after you kill it? Go.
First of all, I just want to say that I've always said on every episode that I do not like you, and that I am quitting this show because I am verbally abused every episode.
We've been on here 96 minutes, and I'm just starting.
No, you said some things before. Anyway, if I do go hunting, I'm going to be in gear, which includes boots, not barefoot, and camouflage, because the deer will spot you and none will come around.
Because their feet are very light-skinned. It's like the sun.
Kiss my ass. Anyway.
That may be the same color as your feet.
No, I will not skin them right then and there, but I will make sure that I follow all health protocols and getting it to the right place to be properly skinned. There's places for that. You don't have to do it yourself anymore, Ken.
There is, but I mean, I thought maybe you like the feel of that blood. You want to gut it and you want to just smear the blood on your face.
No, I just want them to do it for me. Skin it, gut it, cut it up.
Your Indian roots. Because I know you're probably from the Slapaho tribe.
I'm from the... Never mind.
Cucamonga.
No, I was going to kill a you-know-what tribe.
Okay. I see what you're saying. But
anyway, so was there anything else that you'd like to talk about today, Ken?
No, here's the thing. We went on a tangent. And we talked about... Here's the thing. That wasn't even the surface of my law enforcement background.
I know, but nobody cares. So
we're gonna talk about the time. We're gonna talk about the time I got attacked at work and had to go to the clinic and get shots.
But they attacked you.
I got so many. I got attack stories. So many.
So this is my thing. We've actually agreed a lot on this episode. And whether you want to believe it or not, I think that we make a good team. That
Don't
hurts.
be gay.
Don't
Joy,
say that. You're gonna get us canceled.
No, we can say that. We can say that. We can say gay.
Don't be happy.
Huh?
That's what you're saying. Gay is happy. Don't be happy.
Nah, gay is a homosexual. There's an LGBTQNOLOP. So I'm good.
You are going to get us super canceled. Oh my God.
Patrick Dunk says, who's the yin and who's the yang? I think I'm the yang. Cause I got that thing. You're oh shit.
Wow. You made me spit all over myself. That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous.
Cause I got that thing, yeah.
Okay, so let's take us out with an Erykah Badu song because I so love these ladies so much.
Man, how much of it can we play if you screen share?
You can sing it, you just can't play it.
I want to know the words.
Google them. Don't you have another device, Ken?
It's here in front of me.
Use it.
I don't want to.
What song you want to sing?
Then I would have to cut the video off.
What do you want to sing, Ken?
There's a ribbon in the sky for
No,
our love we can do. Man, hold on, before we go any further. Joy, where you at? This your music segment.
Yes.
R.I.P. to Andre Harrell. He passed away last night.
Little Richard.
R.I.P. to Little Richard. He died this morning. But
he was what, 78?
87.
87.
87. Little Richard was 87. The architect of rock and roll.
Yes,
even though he doesn't get credit, even though he says everybody stole, he said Whitney Houston stole from him. So everybody stole his style.
Ike and Tina, all of them were the founders of rock and roll.
No, Little Richard is before Tina.
I know, but I'm saying them, and then they carried it on and kept it going.
But the thing about it is, Little Richard did not get the critical acclaims that he did. Him and Chuck Berry, they did not get the justice or the accolades that they needed.
They were actually inducted into the Rock of Hall of Fame.
You said rock and roll.
I said Rock Wall Hall of Fame. Wow.
She feeling that seltzer and that wine because she feeling fine.
Shut up, Ken. What I'm saying is that they were inducted into the rock and roll. I can't say that fast.
It's 2 words in a letter. It's 2 words in a letter.
Say it fast 3 times.
Rock and roll, rock and roll, rock and roll.
No. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And but it was later. It was like in the 90s, and I don't feel like
too late.
Yeah. So
and the thing about it is, I'll say this. His counterparts and his colleagues gave him the respect, but it was too little too late.
Yes.
They always did it to his face, but never publicly. Like the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, and those types of guys didn't give him. I mean, just Google when Good Golly Mixed Molly came out. That was way before any of them. You know what I'm saying? Elvis Presley.
Not only that, but the music that they did, even like Muddy Waters, Ike and Tina, Little Richard, like all of that. All of that was sampled by people like Elvis Presley and others. You know what I'm saying? Especially, what was the guy's name that you just mentioned?
Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry, especially Chuck Berry. As like hear other people doing your songs and then getting more shine for it than what you did because you paved that way, that is hurtful to an artist. And I can definitely feel the pain that they would have went through at that time. So I feel like just give him his just due. And if you have anybody that's out there that's doing something different, that is creating and paving a way for a new genre, or, you know, just give them the respect and give them the flowers while they're still here. But RIP to Little Richard.
Little Richard. Hey, we got, that makes you, if you have not seen Cadillac Records, it's a great movie. Yes. Sad. Correct. You got Muddy Waters, you got Chuck Berry, you got Howlin' Wolf, you got Lil Walt, you got Etta James, you got Chess. Even though he fucked over the people, Chess Records. He came from nothing and made something. You know what I'm saying? Even I can't think what Cedric Entertainer's. I think his name Willie Dixon, wasn't it Willie Dixon? Cedric the Entertainer's character, Willie Dixon. He was a songwriter. You know what I mean? All those guys. Hollywood from New Orleans, Louisiana, died like 30-something years old. My baby don't stand no cheating, my baby.
And guess who redid that song? Elvis
My
Presley.
baby don't stand no cheating, my baby. Oh, shit. I don't know the rest, but I'm gonna watch it when I leave here today. But Hoochie Coochie Man, my baby, Howlin' Wolf. I watch Howlin' Wolf, boy. Midnight Train.
Yes.
But Etta James.
You singing it wrong.
My love is coming on.
Let me sing it for you.
Go ahead. One time for me, please.
One time? I don't know the words. I don't know the words.
All you gotta do is do it last.
At last, my love.
Oh, you're not doing that note.
I'm hoarse.
And drunk. But Sharonda, thank you for saying that. I saw it, but we was in the middle of something. But let's not skip over Andre Harrell, who started as an intern into, being into a music mogul, starting Uptown Records, having Sean P. Diddy Combs at his protege, who started Bad Boy Records, Heavy D, Mary J. Blige. What? Give me something else. It's a female group. Who was in there?
SWV. I mean, not SWV. Total.
Was SWV there too?
No, SWV was somewhere else. My bad.
Okay, Total.
112.
Biggie. 112. All that. Mace. Murder Mace went to preaching, came back as Murder Mace. Now he's suing P. Diddy for some money. I don't know how they did with that, but he probably gonna lose. But the thing about it is this: I'm worried about P. We should have talked about this earlier a little bit, but I'm worried about P. Diddy right now. Cause
I'm not worried about P. Diddy.
No, listen. You know that his kid's mother's passed away late last year, and then his mentor dies 2020. He was already fucked up about his kid's mother dying. He I was terrible. I was a bad, I don't know if they were married, but mates. You know what I'm saying? I was a terrible mate, and now she's gone. She was a great mother. I'm fucked up. Not to mention
that I do want to give her the respect because of the fact that she was a beautiful woman and she was a great model. She had the most beautiful skin, brown skin woman out there in the modeling world, which it was very hard for them to do at that time. And just raising the bars for people, paving the ways for people. Kim Porter was such a wonderful person. She was so sweet. I don't get in people's personal relationships, but I don't know how Diddy treated her, but I know for a fact that she loved her kids and that she was always down to ride for Diddy whenever he wanted to do something.
Right. And that's what he said. I mean, I don't know what happened in their relationship, but I mean, you can tell, like, if it takes a man to say She was a beautiful person, great mother. I fucked that up. You know what I'm saying? That speaks to her.
Do so.
You know, that speaks to her is what I'm saying. Calm
right.
down. Listen.
I was just trying to get my testimony, but
I'm just saying, look.
I'll skip it.
There you go. Lean on back, cause calm down a little bit, cause you're going a little bit too hard now. I acknowledge you not really caring for the dude, but we're gonna talk about Porter who passed away, and a lost life affects people. And to have his kid's mother die, and then his mentor die. 59 years old is not old. 59. No. They have not disclosed why or what happened, or they just said Andre Harrell passed away 59 years old. I haven't been in the news today because I've been real busy, but I want to know what happened. But to just lose two people.
Hey, Kimberly.
What up, Kimberly Brooks? What up, DD? Ray Nagin. That's the kids. They came and got some crawfish today. Told them things up. They said,
I wish I would have had crawfish, but somebody
Shut up, Joy. I ran out. Jesus.
No, okay.
But to have two people in under a year.
Right.
That were very close to you, man. I worry about them,
I think that, the thing that pulls people through is the people around them. So he does still have his children. He does still have, his close, loyal friends and family that support him.
Bone cancer. I never knew he had cancer. Did he know he had it? That's a patron right there, Julie, with the Googles.
Thank you, Julie.
Julie, did you know he had it? Before we wrap this up, we're at 110.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap it up then.
No, I got to see what Julie finna say. She was doing a little research right quick. Julie, was it something known, or was it just it sprang up and he was gone? Because that's what happened. Remember that cleaning lady at work, the older lady?
Mm-hmm.
The short one? She came to work every day.
Yeah, I like her.
Yes, and she didn't speak real good English, but she would let me change my clothes when she was cleaning those bathrooms. When I got off at 4:30, 5 o'clock, that's, they'd be over there because I'd be turning the corner like, I can't piss because this motherfucker cleaning it again. But
they need to clean it again and again.
That's y'all side. Damn, I never knew he had bone cancer. Julie didn't know it. I never knew he had it. I just thought he had fucked up teeth and them glasses was just too much. But
stop it.
But I'm just saying, that's just my opinion. I can say what I
ill
want to say.
Of the dead.
Man, listen, I can say that shit if he was alive. I said it when he was alive. But what I was told was that she had not been feeling well. And then she goes to the doctor and they say, you have this. She died like 4 days later. I was like, fuck.
And this is another thing that I would like to share with our people of color that are watching this podcast. Just any people in general, honestly. Go to the doctor.
Fuck them white folks.
Go to the doctor, get your checkups, make sure that you are regularly getting your physical exams. Ladies, make sure that you are regularly going in to see your female doctors as well. Health is one of the most important things in your life. All of the other stuff that comes along with it doesn't matter as long as you're healthy. That's the main thing. So go get checked. Go and take care of your health.
True.
Health is wealth. So
it is that because time is fleeting and it waits for no one. But listen, and I said that in my drunken state. I don't know where that came from. But damn, I forgot what I was going to say. But Julie said she's a resident Googler. And I said, thank you. There may be a job for you here. Maybe I'm tripping.
Thank you so much, Julie, for clarifying that. Of course, we don't want to put out any false stories at all. So
I was saying, I did not know he had bone cancer. I swear to God, I didn't. But you know what's so funny?
What?
I didn't even do an intro for this podcast.
We sure didn't. Let's do the intro.
We just rolled into it. But listen, thank you again, guys, for coming up to us. Happy birthday, Patrick Dunk, top tier patron. I sent him, only for the patrons, I sent him a commemorative video because he hit Big 40. Sean Kemp, Big 40.
Patrick, I just want to say, Ken didn't let me know. Happy birthday. You made the big 4-0. We appreciate you. We love you here on Maybe I'm Tripping podcast. Happy birthday. Have a great birthday weekend. I know it's hard to celebrate for other people that have birthdays during this quarantine, but hey, you got your family with you. Have fun. Make the best out of it. Go outside and do something in the yard.
Hell yeah. But this has been another episode of Maybe I'm Tripping with Big Ken.
Enjoy the Queen. Thank you guys so much for joining us again. This was episode 20, guys. We are getting up there.
20. That's Julie's favorite movie.
Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, check out the Patreon, and bang that bell so you know when we go live. We love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us again. Have a wonderful, blessed weekend. Listen to some Erykah Badu and some Jill Scott. I'm at peace. I've been touched by the heavens. That's all that needs to be said. We out.
Melodies from heaven rain down on me. Rain down on me. Melodies from heaven. You don't know about that gospel.